Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in to the Don't Punt Hour. We don't got DeMornay Pierson-El just yet. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. DeMornay Pierson-El will be joining us shortly, but it is still Give to Lincoln Day. We got the W in here. Maisha Essex and Karen Bell Dancy, both joining me to my left. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Guys, it's been a minute since I last produced a show.
It has.
How's it going? And I'll have you grab one of those mics there.
We're used to not having a mic.
Yeah, it has been a while.
It's been a while. No,
we're in the other studio all the time now.
Yes, we're so excited to be back in here, and thank you for letting us kind of take over the top of your show to talk a little bit more about a very, very special day here in Lincoln. It's Give to Lincoln Day. It's really, really special for a lot of nonprofits here in the community doing a lot of great work here in regards to responding to community needs to make sure that our beautiful city of Lincoln continues to be a welcoming space. So Give to Lincoln Day is one of the biggest days here in our city for nonprofits to receive funding and money and donations. And today we are coming in to ask you to consider donating to us today for Give to Lincoln. If you are a listener, if you're new, we have a show here that we do every other Sunday here on the Ticket, where we talk about us as an organization. Again, we're YWCA Lincoln. Our mission is to eliminate racism and empower women. We have a ton of different programs here and resources in the community for young girls and for women to help them, especially with young girls, explore self. For them to explore different career pathways here within our, just and hopefully to give back to the community, right? If we're pouring into them at some point, for them to pour back into us.
Yeah, and the other reason why it's so important that we ask for your support, because we like to tap into the human needs in our community and the basic needs. So we have programs within the YWCA that just help folks to get those basic necessities that they need. And now with, a lot of the challenges of the economy and the labor stats that are happening, people being unemployed or underemployed, people being underinsured, folks having challenges around childcare and transportation. Those are a lot of the gaps that we recognize and we try to fill. And we not only do that with our human services and providing social services, but we do that with our advocacy work. And so we are really pushing for social justice. Maisha mentioned that we want to concentrate on how we're helping everyone within the community, helping the community to thrive, the community to be a welcoming environment. Here in the heartland, Lincoln is such an important city of the heartland, in that we welcome people from a lot of different backgrounds. And we want to make sure that all families have that ability to be able to thrive. And so with the support of others in the community, and want to see Lincoln continue to grow. And, we're developing at such a rapid rate. We're trending up as a city to live in. We want to make sure that we're doing our share. And we can only do our share when we have the support of the community.
Absolutely. And like Karen said, we definitely need you to donate so we can continue providing our resources.
Yes.
You can go to ywcalincoln.org and click the donate button.
Yes.
As soon as you click the donate button, it'll take you to our landing page on the Give to Lincoln Day website. If you do not know who we are, and we're just now, tapping into new listeners, because I know that this is a new audience with a different show. I think we have, because we do so much at the YWCA.
We do.
We have, I think, anything. We have so much that you can connect to a lot of different aspects of what we do. And I think we have something for everyone to connect with in regards to how you want to get involved with your community. For example, we have a STEM club, which is science, technology, engineering, and math for young girls 4th through 8th grade. We know that there are a lot of jobs right now that are not fulfilled in the STEM field. We also know that there is a big discrepancy between male and female representation within the STEM field. And so we would love, we want to make sure that all of our girls who are interested, that they know about the different career pathways, that they understand that STEM is really all around us. It's about being intentional in regards to pointing it out and connecting with it. It's about bringing new different careers, pathways into kind of their purview, because they don't know about it, right? They don't know that STEM is involved in like fashion, right? When they're talking about, even if they want to be an influencer or be on YouTube, we're talking about coding and editing and all those things that have to do with technology, and showing them, that there are a lot of careers that integrate a lot of things that they are passionate about or that they think about a lot, that STEM is integrated into that. And so understanding it and being a little bit more involved and connected with it is a great thing. So if you think that girls exploring STEM career pathways is something that is important. If it's passionate, or if you're passionate about that, donate to us, because that is something that we do, within our organization. And in certain years, we're in 17 different schools teaching STEM programming to our young girls. And again, in order to do that and to continue to at that volume, we definitely, need your support and your donation to help. If you're interested in those tangible things of what, somebody's getting something right away, we have a wholesome hygiene program for families, not even just women, but for families in our community that are in need of their basic hygiene and household items, because the income, it's not matching right. And they're finding themselves having to choose between these basic, but they're necessary, right? Hygiene items and household items, between that and like paying the phone bill, right? And guess what's going to, take the back burner? Your hygiene and things like that. And we found that out during the pandemic, when we had a lot of women call up and say they couldn't afford basic, feminine care items, and that did not go away. We work with a lot of different communities. We work with new members in the community that are really in this transition phase of being able to just getting it into this community, and then finding a job, and that kind of space that's there before they can get a job, and all the paperwork and things that they need before that can even happen. And so they need these resources. And again, Lincoln is a welcoming city. So we want them to know that here in Lincoln, we got your back. We can help you out during this transition, this time. And so if you want to donate to something tangible like that, you can. Again, go to our website. We have so many ways that you can get involved. If you are really, really connected with equity, and making sure, again, culturally or cultural competency, or that, again, our community is the best that it can be for, again, all members within it.
That we are an inclusive community. That's what we're striving for. And we want to do education, and we want to do awareness. We want to help people understand elections, the right to vote. How do they go about the voting process? We want people to understand those pieces. We want to help people to understand basic economics. And so we offer financial literacy type of education and workshops. And again, for men and women. We also have our Job Outfitters program. We know there are so many members of our community that remember that Job Outfitters program. I took a call earlier today about the Job Outfitters program, and that is a partnership that we have with another nonprofit here, where we help folks to get those clothes that they need so they can interview and or try to move up in their job, or if there's special kind of clothing like steel toe boots, or someone needs to pay for like their LPN license or things like that. So it's a lot of needs and gaps that may stop a person from making that next step. For women coming out of domestic violence situations, women and men, that may need that help as they transition. Well, we partner with other nonprofits to help them do that. And so when you support YWCA, you're supporting so much, because there's so many ways that it can tap into what you believe that helps make Lincoln strong.
Really well said. And again, if you guys want to donate, you can go check out, what was the website for the YWCA?
YWCALincoln.org.
YWCA.Lincoln?
YWCALincoln.org.
YWCALincoln.org. You can find information there, donate, and find ways to help. Also, you can go to givetolincoln.com/nonprofit/YWCA-Lincoln, or just go to givetolincoln.com and search the YWCA. Should pop up. They are up to 81 donations right now. And again, if you donate, that money works overtime today. I'd love to see that number go up. And if you guys do donate, feel free to text in 402-464-5685. I'd love to give you guys a shout out if you do so. Before we get out of here, though, guys, I know you guys have a lot of great stories, so I want to ask you for your favorite, but give me some moments about where you see what you guys doing and you're like, what we're doing is really making a difference, and it puts almost a smile on your face.
Oh, I tell you, I had one, Harrison, that was a few years back, and it was with one of our STEM girls, and we were doing a whole STEM night. We do this every year, so the girls are able to share with their family and the whole community some of the projects that they're being involved in. And it's not only just the STEM work, but it's also leadership. It's self-efficacy over their learning. It's self-respect and self-esteem. And one of the news channels was there and interviewed one of our little girls, 7th grade. And she was asked the question, why do you enjoy this STEM club so much? She said, because we get to do what the boys get to do.
That's awesome.
That told the story.
Yeah, and for me, it was actually today. I'll just tell a recent story. We were down at the tower at the square for Give to Lincoln Day, and we ran into one of our former students.
Yeah.
And she was there actually volunteering. She was doing her internship with another great nonprofit. But she went through one of our programs that we used to have here, which was a STEM track where we had the girls from 7th all the way up through high school. And what we were doing was introducing, again, a lot of STEM career pathways and bring people in so they can consider those fields. Well, she's going to the university here, and she said that her major, when I asked, was pre-med. And that made me so happy because she went through our program, and we wanted her to consider, again, the girls in our program to consider STEM career pathways. And it's always so great when I get to see girls that I worked with, and they're now in college, and I ask them what their major is, and they tell me it's something within the STEM field. So that's
and we
amazing.
want her to come back and be that near peer and that role model for the girls that are currently in the program, so they can see that can be me in a few years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's cool to have that in real time. That story. Works out perfectly.
Yeah.
And who knows, she's going to continue to be a great person.
Yes.
I'm sure the ripple effects and all the people, the time we don't have all the stories,
right.
But that ripple effect is always so incredible. So again, that is Maisha Essex, and that is Karen Baldanzi of the YWCA.
Yes, thank you.
Again, be sure to donate if you can. If you don't have the money, if you have time, that is always great as well. And you can check out their website, ywcalincoln.org, or give to Lincoln.com and look for them there. We'll throw it to break here. On the other side, it'll be the morning Pierson-El and myself, and we'll talk some Husker football. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through June 3rd is $1 off per pack on Plum Creek chicken, $1 off all bacon, and 15% off cheese and crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Ella Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
I tried to hide my cigarette smoking. Then I was rushed into emergency surgery to repair the damage smoking did to my heart. It shocked everyone because they thought I was healthy. Yet because I smoked, I had a severe heart condition that nearly killed me. My tip is, you may be able to hide your smoking from the world, but you can't hide from the damage smoking does to your body.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We are back live with our normal programming. Don't Punt Hour, Good Morning Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. Shout out to Maisha Essex and Karen Baldancy. They joined me just for that first segment there. And again, those guys are part of the YWCA nonprofit right here in Lincoln. And they got multiple chapters, but they do have one here in Lincoln as well. And those guys do a lot of really great work. And not just, with the obvious things that you need as meals, but even just really supporting women through, they mentioned it, they got these STEM projects they do to get them more involved in certain branches of academics, as well as just some of the things that, as guys don't always think of, but, feminine hygiene products for women in really tough situations that can't get that stuff. As a guy, you don't think about it. As a woman in a tough spot, that is not a great place to be. And those guys are there to help take care of that stuff. So again, give to Lincoln.com. You can search up the YWCA. And again, if you donate today, that money does overtime and it goes all the way till midnight. They got 81 separate donations currently. And again, if you guys donate, be sure to chime in that you did. I'd love to give you guys a shout out, but let's go ahead and bring them in. Good morning, Pierson-El. How's it going on? It's a nice Thursday. The sun came out today.
One day closer to Friday. We people live for Fridays.
They do live for Fridays. And it'll be a good Friday as well. As I mentioned before we got on here, this Give to Lincoln Day. It's not just the YWCA. We've been at Matt Talbot all day, and those guys have well over 400 separate donations, over $250,000 worth of donations and nonprofits. So on Friday, the entire city of Lincoln, especially the nonprofits, they'll have a lot more in their arsenal to help out the city. So by all means, look forward to Friday. And the city should also just be functioning a little bit nicer, especially with the nonprofits out there. But let's talk some Husker football. Good morning, Pierson-El. I want to just ask you, how do you feel about Friday night games in college?
Terrible. They suck. I don't like them.
All right. Well, we got a few of them. So we got some more dates released. We don't have, obviously, the entire clocks for all these games, but we got quite a few more dropped. So right now we do know the schedule. 8 p.m. That is the Cincinnati game in Kansas City. Then we got Akron 6:30 on a Saturday, Houston Christian Saturday, Michigan 2:30 on a Saturday, Michigan State. That one is going to be 2:30 October 4th, and then you got the Friday game is Minnesota 7 p.m. And then of course you got the Black Friday game, Iowa. How do you feel about
that's three Friday games? Like that's not good. I mean,
well, the Thursday game, the Cincinnati, which is a little bit stranger.
I mean, I can understand that one to start off the season and everything like that. But again, I mean, these aren't adults. Like, regardless of them being paid or whatnot or whatever, or I mean, everybody outside of the super seniors and the people who got 9 years or seven or 8 years in college, everybody outside of them probably aren't adults. It takes a lot. Your body has to recover. You're asking a lot of kids that, bodies that is currently changing, especially in a violent sport, with football. And not only do you do it, 2 times in a season, you do it more than twice. So, just about every month or every other month, they're going to have a schedule that is changed or switched up. Things got to be, sped up faster and everything like that. And I understand, okay, money or whatnot and everything like that, but all ways to get money ain't the best ways. And it's, I mean, at some point in time, you got to look at some of these, the health concerns with speeding things up. Give them the extra day of rest. Well, give them the extra 2 days of rest and travel and everything like that. I don't like it. I don't think it's fun for the athletes. And, at the professional level, that's different. you've made it to the highest level, you've been compensated enough and everything like that, and that's what you do and whatnot, and even still, a team that plays Mondays will turn around and play on Sunday. So what college, like, I think it can be avoided, but they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the money thing. And that's where the NFL, I think you're right. Like, if the NFL wants to do that, they can. It's a business. 100% it's a business. The college still has that attachment to not being a business. But when you make these decisions on all these Friday games, it's like, okay, well, now we're kind of making business decisions, because you'd rather, instead of loading up a Saturday, we have some good games. We can drop them on a Friday night, get some good numbers. Even some of the universities might like it for their pay. I'm sure the head coaches don't. But yeah, that stuff, I'm never a big fan of it. I'm called old school, but I just think Friday Night Lights is a thing.
It's it's high school, but I mean, when you really look at it, you got what, 4 days to really prepare for a next team, and just think about kind of what entitles that, what goes with that. I'm not so sure. Everybody understands the process of everything, and not only that, you got 2 or 3 lifts that you got to do in the week, and you throw in school in there and everything like that. Let's just say, if somebody's getting hurt and rehabbing, and you might need that extra day, with help and whatnot. So, and if it's an away game, typically, the team leaves Friday to get to play on Saturday and everything like that. So that's 1 day before travel. That messes up the kid's schedule. You better hope, a professor doesn't have a test or something, because I mean, especially maybe not early on in the season, but once you probably hit, October, November, or late September, you catch one of those weeks where, that maybe not midterms or whatnot, but what about what's the kid that Ty Robinson? Do people know what his major was and how hard things were and everything like that, and the stuff that he had to kind of do to compensate with stuff and everything like that? No, it wasn't an easy one. I can tell you that much. He wants to be a doctor after he's done playing football. So just imagine if he has an anatomy test on a Friday, you think the teacher is going to necessarily do certain things. Now, some teachers mightn't, but teachers have the will to not do things. So
if you don't believe me, I've worked with a lot of student athletes, and I don't want to say, oh, there's bad professors. The professors also have a job to do. So it's not always the professors being mean, but they're like, come on, I can't just give you guys every test off. Or
rescheduling things like that. Yeah. My thing is, it's a violent sport your body needs to recover and everything like that. Let's just say you have a brutal week, we know typically our last 4 games, are brutal. Just throwing 2 Friday games in there. Is that not an advantage for, at least one of the teams that you're playing, because you're playing them on a short week and you've already been through a season, your body's already kind of beat up, and you need more rest than anything, but yet, nope, we're going to cut you a day short of recovery. Because after the game, Sunday, they'll probably get a lift, so that can count as one of their lifts. They'll probably, go over things. They might have a walkthrough potentially, but even then, that's the athletes aren't resting; they're still actively doing stuff. Then your Monday is really honestly like your Tuesday or Wednesday, or a combination of both. Tuesday is more so like your Thursday. You can't bang and do so much because, again, your body's not necessarily recovery. You're traveling on Thursday, so when you're cutting out important pieces that kids need on the field and off the field, all for it's we got a TV deal. I don't think that's right with things, especially multiple times a year. 3 and 4 times. Come on now, like that's a bit much.
Well, the only times, and I'm still not a big fan of Friday games, but it makes it a little bit better if you have a bye around it. But even then, it's like before or after the game, you're still going to run into that quick turnaround period, unless you got back-to-back buys, which is never going to happen. So, yeah, to me, we always think about the NIL and the guys who love football, and that's what they want to do. And then there's the guys that love football, but they, like, to your point, Teddy, you also want to be a doctor. Like, that stuff takes a lot of time and work, and they love football, but they also have this idea of themselves after football. And if you just stretch them brutally thin at the college level to where they can only focus on football, which is some of the concerns that I have time to time with these scheduling changes and the conference and 16-team playoff, 18, who knows, might be 24 at one point in time. Like, how long does the season got to be? So that's always my biggest concern with it, is just money constantly drives the deciding factor. And you see that with the college football playoffs. But I haven't talked about this. There's been some flirting about March Madness expanding their playoff bracket.
To what?
I don't know. But they are talking. The idea of it maybe being expanded is out there. Let's see if I quote of one of the guys who said it.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
March of Madness is already so big. What's the point of making it bigger?
More chaos.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it would be some of those other good teams that might have got left out because they're not in a good conference and everything like that. You give a little bit more to maybe more room for the Cinderella stories. I think it's just a way to generate more money. Honestly, that's the only reason why you do it. I mean, you've been doing it for how long it's been this way, and now all of a sudden you want to change it. Why? Because of money.
Yeah. Well, here's the vice president of the NCAA, vice president of basketball, Dan Gavitt. He told ESPN just a couple months ago it was unlikely. Now today, quote, that would be the goal. Try and do this for next year. We would be talking about 72 and 76 teams. So now they're like 2026. They do kind of want to see if they can get to 72, 76. Yeah,
that's like what I mean. Three or four extra games, maybe.
Yeah,
extra round.
What does that add?
Draft capital, draft stock, opportunity for people that might not be in a big market to be seen on a bigger stage.
Well, the college basketball crown just got a lot dumber. The more you expand the March Madness bracket, the less intrigue the college.
Now that you put the crown in, it's to take honestly that away probably.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. With the NIT and the college basketball crown this year, it's like, okay, I think they kind of have an idea of what they're trying to do now, and now they want to expand that. Which
I don't think they need to. I think 64 is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it. So why go and change it? I can understand why you want to change it. Like I said, I mean, it's more money, more profit, more games and everything like that. But I think what the system is. It's fine. It's been that way for a long time. I mean, you see football changing every other 2 years. So, I mean,
maybe I'm just that old school. I really hate all this change, and it feels like it's happening a lot lately.
I think a lot of people will have that in common. I think a lot of people are a lot more comfortable and used to their routines. I mean, at the end of the day, college sports is a business now, and they're making their money. They're trying to get pennies out of it. Now, I don't know if that money goes to these universities more for NIL. I mean, that would be neat if something could be in that. I just don't understand how. And football is going away from the NCAA, and basketball is going to the NCAA. It's funny that they're on polar opposites ends.
That tells you how much money one has. I think it tells you Big Ten and SEC basketball is huge. Like you don't even say the NCAA playoffs anymore. You don't you just say the college football playoffs. Like it's its own different beats itself. So it's like I said, it's funny how they pick and choose or each sports rule differently in their domains. Yeah, and the NCAA's respect level is just, I still think, at an all-time low here, and we'll see how they come out of this. But maybe this is what we should all saw coming. And to your point, college sports is now truly becoming a business. Are we surprised to see all these changes happening right when it becomes legal to make all these business decisions? I guess I'm sitting here now like, why am I surprised by any of this? Of course, this is going to be inevitable, especially if the NCAA is going to not be the guiding hand on a lot of this deciding factor. I guess for March Madness, I will say, if it's March Madness, if the idea is these other schools are going to drown out if we do not give them some more eyes on it, and that's the way to do it. Again, talking about the NIL funds,
silver lining in it. I mean, that's at least one positive.
If that's true, then you could maybe sway me into it. But I always think there's better ways to go about it than just expanding things to absolute chaos. Where I'm sorry, team number 72 that makes it. You're not beating whoever the number 1 seed is on your side. Very, very unlikely.
Well, I mean, I would think like the top 2 seeds in each region probably have a bye, at least one bye.
You would have to do something of the sort.
They wouldn't play until it's like 64. So it's not anything for them. It's just giving everybody else, more of an opportunity to kind of play. But even with March Madness is like, do you want teams to play, 2 or 3 games, or you be their third game to where they kind of got things and you kind of iced out?
Yeah, and that's the college baseball playoffs. You see a little bit of that when they switch the format for those the number 1 seeds were getting buys, and you're actually seeing the teams coming in off the
rolling
round. They're rolling in hot. It's very similar to what you see in college baseball. Like, why does Nebraska have so many people high on them that weren't really following Nebraska baseball all year? Because Nebraska's hot right now, and you're just kind of silly to ignore that stuff in the baseball world. So I do think you kind of see a little bit of that in basketball. If they choose a format where they got to sit, not a fan. I was never a fan of, like, when the tournament starts, I just kind of want everybody playing at the same time.
I mean, I'm not opposed to people getting buys, but certain teams getting buys, because I think that they deserve it and everything like that. They did what they did and they took care of business. So I'm not opposed to some people getting buys. I think that's fine.
Something to keep an eye on. It's interesting. I just always thought, to me, March Madness was the perfect bracket that never will need.
I don't see nothing. I don't see why, like, change it up, or like, because even if you add something else, it still might not be the same kind of product. It's something new entirely, and you don't kind of like want to mess that up. I mean, it's been a cash cow for how long? People still talk about it that then had 20 years in the pros and everything like that, and it's still the same. So at least for it to have that link and to still kind of have that power even after it's moved on, especially with basketball, I think that was the unique thing about it that kind of everybody wanted to chase.
Yeah, and we'll stick to basketball, and then we'll talk about the new punter for Husker football on the third and final segment. But out of the college world, NBA world, we do got possibly the Eastern Conference Finals ending going on right now in the NBA world. Pacers, Knicks. Pacers leading it 3-1. I lost my page here, but who do you got tonight? Can the Pacers move on and already get to the finals?
Hopefully not. I want the Knicks to win.
I want this series to extend too. I would like the Knicks. They are up 27-23.
They're back at home. I think they're gonna have something in store, because they've been right there. Like they've let it get to where it is now. Like, of course, Indiana has definitely come back and done some things and everything like that. But a lot of it has been because New York has not sealed the deal, shut the door, and taken care of business how they were supposed to for a full 4 quarters.
Yeah, and we were talking about this on We Talk Facts, where a lot of people are super high on the Pacers, and they're a good team. Number 1 offense. There's a lot of reasons to like them. These games have been really close.
Yeah.
The 3-1, it's a very different 3-1 in the West. And we saw it's now 4-1. They spanked the Timberwolves on their, they cruised into the finals. The 3-1 in the East has not been that.
No.
It's been a nail biter. Tyrese Halliburton is making crazy shots. That whole team is just meeting the bell at the perfect time. So I'm not going to be surprised if the Knicks can extend this series. It's more just you can't drop one anymore at this point. But the Pacers, their strength is depth. Where are you at with Jalen Brunson, though? Because he is starting to get slack on holding the ball too long is the biggest criticism he gets.
Man, you know what's funny and what I'm starting to see, and it's funny you bring up him. I'm starting to see it with Ant-Man too.
Yep.
Now that the target is off of Jason Tatum, they're finding new targets and new narrative to do the same thing. Like both guys has been successful, especially Ant's career is, I would say, for within how short it's been and everything like that. The success, especially with getting to back-to-back, conference championships and everything like that, that's starting to creep up, what Boston is doing. With Brunson, everybody's starting to get on his height. Everybody's starting to, he's a liability with playing defense and everything like that, or shooting the ball. He's the best player. He's the reason why they're there. Like, people said the same thing about Kobe being a ball hog and doing certain things and everything like that. Now they're saying Kobe, his greatness of this and this and that. People, went off about LeBron and everything. At some point in time, I forget what's the quote. You live long enough to see yourself become a villain. It's starting to get like that, and it's like, what about his game are causes you to start to hate him, start to get annoyed or start to nitpick things? Because I think as far as some of the other superstars out there, he's kind of been one of the more flawless type of ones of superstar, one of the most clutch superstars, and not just this year. From his time in Dallas, even with Luka. You know what I mean? Like it was shown then and there, and he created his own path. And with being in 2 or 3 years with the Knicks, you're on the cuffs of going to a conference championship 2 years in a row, but you went through a buzzsaw of what Boston was last year, and I mean your Indiana was in a conference final last year, so. I don't understand what the hate is, and like I said, I guess it's just the target's gone off of Tatum's back, and everybody is picking and finding their new Tatum.
Yeah, negative news sells as always. Brunson, the Kobe example is probably the best one because people always got on Kobe Bryant about that throughout his entire career. When they shut up when he made the shot. When they talked when he missed the shot. So that's he hasn't been making the shots in the series, but if he was making the shots, nobody would. He's
been making the shots his whole playoff run.
Exactly, but the series he's not now.
So. He's gotten there because of because of them and everything like that. Well, the Knicks have gotten there because of his clutch shooting. The first couple games in the series and whatnot. I mean, they looked like they were on the ropes against Detroit. Detroit. I will probably say, other than Indiana, has been probably the best team to have them, on their heels and everything like that. And Detroit is just young.
I just think the casual NBA fan's memory goes back about a week. I think that's just kind of what happens.
But it's not even the fans though. Like the analysts are like starting to.
Well, the media is always going to do their dirty work.
I'm like, okay, in the last, let's say in the last 8 years, you would arguably say he's probably one of the higher or best athletes to represent, New York City. I don't want to say the state because you still got Buffalo.
He's a New York guy.
But I'm saying, I mean, outside of maybe Odell, who's been on that list of New York athletes in the past 8 years that is even remotely, on that level.
I was going to say some names, and then you said last 8.
That's I gotta cap it.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because Knicks,
even if you go back to in the last 10, you know what I mean. Like I don't think Melo's still with New York. He might be, but you know what I mean. So it's 2015. I don't know if Melo was still playing, but I mean that list is short, and for what he's been for as short of a time as he's been with New York, for what he's been able to do, with one of those franchise teams where you think about it, historical teams and everything like that. Again, you put that up against the Giants. Any athlete that's been on the Giants, like I said, outside of maybe Odell, like you can throw Brunson's name, in that mix as probably, top 5 faces of New York City.
And that's where Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson just aren't going to get the credit, unfortunately. Who was talking about the Timberwolves at this point in the season last year, or the Knicks? Well, last year we were talking about the Timberwolves and the Knicks, but before those guys got there, the Target Center, the Timberwolves were up at the Target Center. I think they were thinking about relocating. It was getting that bad. And now they found some hope with Anthony Edwards, and they had that weird period before him with D'Angelo Russell, and Anthony Edwards saved that entire ship from sinking.
Literally.
Hope. You could say he hasn't played the best. He hasn't been, a dominant all the time, but he gave that damn city hope. And now they're actually competing to go win. Same thing with Jalen Brunson. And they have a lot of great numbers to provide why there's hope for those guys as well. So, no, they're unfortunately not going to get credit for both of those teams being absolute dumpster fires until they got there and really started turning things around. With that being said, we'll go to the text line before we throw it to break here. Nate in Dorchester, all the way back, talking about the NCAA tournament. If they add more teams, he says, no matter how many teams in the NCAA basketball tournament, no one out there has ever won a college basketball crown except Nebraska. If they win the college basketball crown next year because of this, well, Nebraska will be the only crown winner, and we will never have to be dethroned. With that being said, we'll throw it to break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk about Nebraska's new punter possibly on the other side of things. Don't Punt Hour. Talk to you in a bit.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a slight chance of showers and storms this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with light winds. The high near 72. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds. A low around 49. And tomorrow, we'll see lots of sunshine and calm winds. An afternoon high near 80. The meteorologist complex for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. DeMornay Pierson-El streaming in. We're going to finish talking some Husker football here, in particular special teams. We talked about it yesterday. I asked you what 3 things that make you most optimistic about Husker football. I can't remember if it was in your answer. I'm pretty sure you did throw out Mike Eckler. Yes or no? Okay. I threw in there special teams as a whole as well, and we do get a rugby-style punter. We saw Jack McAllister leave, not because he was bad, just because, I mean, how big is that when in college football between that rugby and traditional?
It's different. I mean, can traditional punters, do it and everything like that? Probably so, but I mean, there are other people, that's what they're kind of, known for or whatnot. Again, understanding of operation and, giving your team, the best chance to get down the field and make sure something doesn't get returned is better. So if you got a guy that can, roll out left, right, or, can kick with both legs and, can boomerang a ball, you can roll one way and it go the same way he's going, or you roll one way and it goes opposite of where the returner is and everything like that. Again, I mean that's a win in field position. But they're 2 different styles. It's like having to make it a big comparison to where people would know. It's like having it's like the Lions running back room having the one heavier running back, the kind of bruiser for certain things and everything like that. And then you have your kind of scat running back that can catch out of the backfield and everything like that. Can they both get the job done? Yes, but they get the job done differently. So that's kind of like the best visual that I can come up with actually seeing it done in 2 different ways in 2 different styles.
And so, okay, maybe you kind of said, what is the biggest advantage if you're going for the rugby? Like, why would you think Mike Eckler?
Okay, so are you familiar, or I don't know if people are familiar with hang time and everything like that? But specifically, anything over 4.5 seconds of hang time pretty much is you're not giving the return team a chance to have the ball and everything like that, or to return the ball because the ball's in the air for so long. So if you have a guy that is traditionally better at catching it and kicking it, and the hang time, gets you, 4.8, 4.9, 4.7, that's not a return. So your defense comes out there, field position change. With a rugby style and everything like that, it's different because, a lot of things can come off of it. You can create more fakes. Not to say that you couldn't with the traditional, but it makes it harder to rush the punter and everything like that because it's not just one spot. So when you're backed up and, the field is shorter for the team to kind of come after it and everything like that. For instance, this is just different situational. Instead of, you having 10 guys come and rushing one spot and everything like that, you're moving the spot. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for potentially, guys to get the opposing team to get blocks. If you're in a regular, field position and everything like that, again, the ball gets hiked, the punter can runner left, holds the ball for an extra second or 2, half a second or whatever it is, a few Mississippis. That's like the hang time on the ball. So you add that with, again, punting it if he's a boomerang punter. And what I mean by that is he lines up, he's right-footed, but the ball comes back, you know, to the left side. He boomerangs it from one field to the other. It gives, you know, like I said, more chances to get down there to cover, and minimizes a return team to return the ball. So it's you're going out there, but you have a stronger say of where the team is getting the ball back and what they can do versus catching the ball and having a big return. Which is, if you watch what Coach was doing at Tennessee, that's what it was. I mean, again, winning field position, minimizing big plays potential. You know, we've all seen the kicking game, you know, energize the game and change the game. So if you take that out of the phase and you handle things on offense and defense, you know, as I said last year, you win in two phases of the game. And sometimes, you know, special teams get left out, but, you know, special teams can also win you the game. So I think that's where that comes in at.
Well said. That's a great breakdown of it. Because I do think, you know, when, especially if you're not at the college level, like we had punters. I couldn't tell you at my high school in Cedar Catholic, we had a rugby and a traditional. I think we're all just traditional. But when you get to that college level, like you hear Mike Eckler talk about, you're like, okay, I can kind of see what you're saying. But that's a great breakdown. Everybody asked about it. I can refer him to the segment. It's not official, but he's visiting, and it's Archie Wilson from Australia. But he's already in the UNL directory, so that's kind of why this is.
And I'm pretty sure he's ambidextrous with both feet. So having that wrinkle in there as a returner, it's hard to gauge. You know, is he a right-footed punter? Is he a left-footed punter? Because he can roll right and kick with his left. And just like if you're throwing the ball with your right and left hand, it spins different ways. So that's other things that you have to be, you know, inclined with. You kind of got to be in no man's land. It's indecisive, and necessarily with that, okay, even if it's a touchback, okay, they get the ball at the 20 versus having somebody catch it and return it. So again, I think it's minimizing and using a different method to make sure that you're not giving up hidden explosive plays.
Yeah, Mike Eckler's had success with the rugby guys before. So, you know, hopefully as we wrap things up here, this is the resurgence of Husker special teams this upcoming season. I certainly feel good about Mike Eckler, but along with all Husker football fans, we want to see it on a Saturday. Well, this year, once on a Thursday and one on a Friday, and the rest Saturdays. But that's going to wrap it up for us. Up next, we will do a replay, the Malone Radio Show, another nonprofit. It is still Give to Lincoln Day. That money works overtime. GiveToLincoln.com. Matt Talbot, Kitchen Outreach. We're out there all day today from 6 to 6. We had the YWCA on for a segment. And like I said, we're going to replay the Malone Radio Show up next. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate it as always. We will talk again next week. Don't go anywhere. Tika Weeknights. Keep it rolling.